Hey, it's Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Hey, listen, you know, I had a dream last night and had me thinking. Now, previously I did financial reflections versus seeing yourself in the mirror. But I need you to understand, as the financial first responder, I'm constantly talking to myself so that I can help my clients get where they need to be. I'm building the life I want and the legacy I was meant to leave. Now, if you're looking at this right now, you'll notice that I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm in a suit. I'm focused. I'm disciplined. I have faith, freedom, and impact. But when I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how many of you actually do financial reflection for your personal growth and for purposeful action. So, for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the things I think you should be focusing on when you look at yourself in the mirror. You see, you got to look at the whole picture. You got to know your financial situation, know your numbers. As my grandfather used to say, liars don't figure they'll get caught, and figures don't lie. You have to put yourself in a position where when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, you have confidence, you're speaking positivity to yourself, and you're looking at the businessman or businesswoman you want to be. And then you got to start to notice what's working. See, we say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. But how many of you are celebrating the progress and identifying the opportunities that you have right in front of your face? You see, a lot of times as professionals, people who are in the minority in their fields, you don't celebrate your progress. You don't say, "Hey, I'm the 1%," right? Because 99% of the people who are in the world don't do what you do. And then how many of you really take the time to realign with your goals? Now, for some of you who follow me and who are part of the financial positioning system, you know every 6 days we work, and on the seventh day we rest. We are on 28-day cycle because that's God's number. And every week we either deal with survival, stability, we deal with growth, and then we deal with legacy. And we repeat those actions. And for some of you, you're not realigning yourself financially. So you have to make sure your money supports your mission. And your mission is most important. Now, when I look at myself in the mirror, I say, hey, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I talk to myself. And for some of you, you probably talk to yourself and you answer yourself back. That doesn't mean you're crazy. That just means you're validating. Okay. Now, in the old days, that would mean you were crazy. However, you want to make intentional choices. Now, what do I mean by intentional choices? You want to choose today for the future you want. I always say, I do today what others won't so I can have tomorrow what others don't. And I say that with so much conviction and belief that I believe in myself. So the man or woman believes, so can he achieve. And then as I look at myself in the mirror and I say, hey, that's a sharp guy, that's an intelligent guy, that's a guy that's going to make something happen today, that's a guy that's going to change people's lives for the better. I look at how I started and how I grew over time, or I grow over time. And I look at, because I do consistent consistent reflection builds the lasting success that I want to have. You know, I hate to say this, but if you really want to become a millionaire, I'm going to give you the secret right now. To become a millionaire, you need to help 10 people make 100,000. 10 to 12, 10 to 13, 100,000, you'll become a millionaire. But if you want to become a billionaire, you got to help 10 to 13 people make $1 million. Some of you are so selfish that you keep everything to yourself. But if you actually focus on helping people get where they want to be, you'll get where you want to be. Remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? Well, some of you trying to keep yours and everybody else's. I want to challenge you for a second. I want you to start looking in the mirror and talking to yourself like I'm looking at in the mirror right now. And I want you to say, hey, self, I am the best version of myself that there can be. God made me specifically to be who I am going to be. And then I want you to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And then I want you to tell yourself, hey, you know, I can do anything because God made me. Now, when you start repeating those things to yourself and you understand Psalms 23, you understand completely that you can do all things because Christ strengthens you. Now, this is not a religious message. This is not one to motivate you and make you want to go to church. But it is one that will say, hey, I can do anything and all things through Christ that strengthens me. So, with that said, I've been talking to you for a few minutes. I've been looking in the mirror at myself, reflecting on focus, discipline, faith, freedom, and impact. I've been telling myself I'm building the life I want and the legacy I was meant to leave. But understand this, you're here but for a moment. The dash between your birthday and your death day is your life. And how you live it and how you use it is really left up to you. Some of you may know William Hensley, Invictus. I'm going to leave you with that. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at that, I would say take a look. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. With that said, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Please like and subscribe my channel and leave a comment in the remarks. Till we talk again, God bless.